morning, beautiful people. What day is it today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. If you were ever in doubt about how I took my coffee, now you know. I like my coffee black just like my metal. Just kidding, I don't like black metal. I'm more of a melodic doom and symphonic metal type girl. And folk. Oh, I love folk metal. And progressive. Actually, I'm wearing a... Oh, there you go. I'm wearing Finchel. There you go. Okay. As you can see, it has snowed. Actually, last night I went for a walk and it started out as rain. It was like kind of snowflake, and then like around like 5 foot, 6 foot mark turned into water droplets. So underneath the snow there's sheer ice. So walking today is gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm almost finished my new leather rune set. They are quite beautiful. Decided to use some beeswax to seal it and burnish the sides, so they're looking quite slick. So yeah, hope you guys are keeping up with your health. And yeah, I don't know, I feel scattered this morning. I actually slept really well. Yeah, I slept really well for a change, but for whatever reason I just feel so scattered this morning. But yeah, the huskies are playing in the snow, so I'm a little bit distracted. I'm watching them do that, so yeah. So let's get into it. What is the date? It's the 9th today, December 9th already? Holy crap. What's happening in the skies? We got Neptune has been direct for a while. Pluto's direct, Jupiter's direct, Saturn's direct. Saturn's actually at 29 degrees of Capricorn right now. And whenever a planet, especially an outer planet like Saturn, gets to the last degrees of a sign, so for the first 20 or more, you get the challenges of that planet. And as it's leaving the sign, as you've mastered those challenges, it rewards you with something, provided you've done the work. So, it's Capricorn rising. I am looking forward to that. What else is going on? Mars, everything's pretty much direct except for Uranus. Hi, Gita! Uranus is still in retrograde. Next week we have the total solar eclipse. So that'll be interesting. And then the week after that, on the 21st, we have the grand conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm equal parts excited and nervous for this. So, there's a lot of videos out there about this, and I definitely recommend looking at a few of them to kind of get an idea about like how that will change life and how it will be reflected in the population and with what's going on right now. There's positive and negative manifestations of everything, right? Nothing is black and white. There's an upside and a downside. That goes for literally everything on Earth. So I don't know, I feel like I'm in a more negative mindset this morning, so I shouldn't be speaking on it, I think, on camera. I will say though that, like, synchronicities for me have been off the freaking charts, especially with number sightings. I've been seeing 12/21, December 21st, and 222, and 33, and 999, and 777, like, everywhere. It's unreal. Yep. I think, there's definitely something really big coming. There's Nala. I don't mean the dog. Something really big coming for sure. And I would say that it's safe to assume that certain groups of elites plan things around significant astrological happenings. I mean, I don't believe that these planetary bodies necessarily impact us on Earth. I think it's more like we project our collective unconsciousness, and it's a mirror. I think actually it was Carl Jung that said that. Nala, out of the garden. You know better. But anyway, I also think it's really interesting. It's cool how in our bodies, anxiousness and excitement show up as the same chemicals. So if you are anxious about something, you can actually change it into excitement. The only difference is in your perception. So all you gotta do is flip the script. So instead of being in fear and being really anxious about something, and anxiety is really just anticipating something negative is gonna happen, you flip the script. So instead of saying I'm anxious about this conjunction and what it could mean, you say I'm excited for the changes that were going to happen, and I'm excited for, I don't know, and then you find things to be excited for. Clearly this morning is a struggle. I'm excited for what this will mean for humanity. I'm excited for, here comes a snowplow. I'm excited because no matter what goes down, no matter what comes for us during this time, it will eventually cause people to empower themselves. See, you have a choice. You can give up, you can numb out, you can stop looking within, and you can only look outwards. Or you can choose to do everything within your power to empower yourself. Oh, Canada. You can give up and lay down, or you can choose to stand and fight. That's why I'm excited. I hope that people will choose to stand and fight. So without any further ado, God within, God without. How shall I ever be in doubt? There's no place where I may go and not there see God's face, not know. And God's vision and God's ears. Through the harvest of my years, I am the sower and the sown, God's self-unfolding and God's own. Your first rune today. Dagas. This is daylight, light. This is transformation. As you can see, it's being flipped. Being flipped on its head. This is the past rune. What has already come to pass. Dagas represents that moment in time when twilight comes. When the light and dark touch. Hey! Hey! Move. No! Oh, get out of here. Go. 11:11. I just looked at the timer. What the hell, you guys? Okay, anyway, so Dagas. Nala! Hey! I'm trying to record. Shh. I don't believe in coincidences, by the way. Okay, so Dagas. Nala! Dog has to play. Dog has to dig. Dog has to bark. I just wish they wouldn't play right here. Fuck. This represents synthesizing left and right. We're a highly logical, intellectual culture. And I think that that is by design. It's not an accident. Nala! Hey! We don't spend any time in our bodies. Very few of us spend any time creating artwork and working with images. Alright, hold on. Very few of us spend any time working with artwork and images and stuff like that. Things that are of the right side of the brain. And Dagas represents synthesizing those two. Bringing them together. It's taking your intellectual knowledge and then getting creative with it. Jesus Christ. Okay, one sec. Take 3. So, Dagas being in the past position tells me that, especially for a lot of the people that are actually going to watch this video, that you've already experienced some of this. You've already started to awaken and transform. Black like my soul. Just kidding. I would consider myself a white lodge, not a black lodge. So in the present position, he was vertical growth. And this rune also contains the idea of opposites achieving some kind of synthesis along the vertical axis. Yep. So again, like I said, that idea of synthesis, of bringing it together, light and dark, left and right, good and evil. Yeah, the message, there's a few messages behind this rune, but one of them is to seek things in your life that are currently out of balance, that are out of proportion, you could say, out of order, and work to gain some order. So, you know, if a really great example is if you're working on structuring and ordering your mind and getting some better like clarity and routine and discipline going, a really excellent thing to start doing is to make your bed and clean up your room. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to function in any kind of an orderly, logical way if your surroundings are disordered. So that's one of the messages behind this rune. The other thing is that this vertical axis that exists between the worlds exists inside of your body as well. Every time I read the stuff that's about this rune, it actually reminds me of the Kundalini energy and the energy that travels up our spine. And there's definitely an element of using some discipline and some self-discipline, not outside discipline, but some self-discipline to light that inner fire and cause yourself to travel along the vertical axis. So, if you know anything about the Kabbalistic tree of life, that relates here. If we're talking just strictly Norse mythology, they have their own tree of life, obviously, Yggdrasil. So, the message here is to take the knowledge that you've gained, the transformation that has already begun with Dagaz, and integrate it. Integrate it into your life. There's a loud logging truck. Yeah. Like electrical poles, actually. Wow. Electrical poles. My ring just spun around. Vertical posts. Holy shit. And the final rune. That's fucking beautiful. So the final rune indicates what may or should come to pass provided you stay on this path. We got manas. Fuck yeah. Okay, so manas. This is the rune of mankind. You'll actually see in manas the shape of Dagaz. Dun, 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 dun. And the lines coming down from Dagaz indicate that this synthesis and the state of being that Dagaz indicates has been brought down onto Earth. Or alternatively, we can access it. Yeah, this is the rune of mankind. of brotherhood and sisterhood, of our divine nature. It is the rune of seekers and initiates, and it is the rune of awakening, of the blinders coming off, the scales falling from your eyes. I think that's how the Bible puts it. For all those who seek, those who seek shall find. This is a really powerful rune reading. I apologize that it took so long for me to get through the runes, but I can't really control what happens around me. That's freaking beautiful. Dagas, Ewas, Manas. Transformation, illumination, daylight, synthesis of opposites, intuitive insight based on knowledge, all of that beautiful stuff. Growth upwards along the vertical axis, synthesis of as above, so below, as the Hermetic saying goes, and then awakening, brotherhood, sisterhood, being able to acknowledge your own inner divine ancestry. That's beautiful. I would say that if we were to look at the Merkstav version of this just for a moment, if Dagaz is blocked, if daylight is blocked, if light is blocked, that would lead to despair and loneliness. If Ewas is blocked, that would lead to the word that comes to mind actually is a new one I learned not very long ago. Stultification. A stunting of your growth. So for some people, a blockage of Ewas is not a bad thing, especially if you are not prepared. Oh, hi Kayleigh. Hey buddy. A blockage of inspiration of that kind, if you're not ready for it, it could be a mercy. But if you are a seeker, if you are looking for truth and knowledge and connection, then it's very necessary to allow that process to happen. And then manas. What? Your breath is stinky. Yes, your breath is stinky. Oh. Look at this. If I scratch behind her head, she smiles. You great smile. Smile for the camera. Hey, smile for the camera. No. A blockage of manas. How could that show up? Hey, buddy. Again, loneliness comes to mind. I think overall, I would say that if you stop this from happening, if you stop any kind of awakening or any moment along your path, if you hold yourself back from it, which is natural. I mean, fear is a big motivator. And if you're struggling with that, I want you to know that it is natural. It's normal to be afraid of these types of things. But I also want you to know that a lack of progress and a lack of forward movement, i.e. stagnation, is death. It's a spiritual death, and it could lead to physical death. And courage, the word courage and brave, those words don't mean a lack of fear. Trust me, they don't mean a lack of fear. Courage and bravery is acting in the face of that fear, in spite of that fear. And again, it has a lot to do with your mindset and your perception. A small example from my personal life. I was in a situation where I had moved in with somebody that was extremely unstable and violent, and I was in fear a lot of the time, so much so that I was in a state of freeze for most of it. Freeze and please. So the human brain has a few responses when it comes to fear. Fight, flight. Those are normal. Well, so is freeze. Fight, and flight. And then freeze and please. It's all survival mechanisms. They're all perfectly normal. I got to a point where I had to act or I would die. And it's a very extreme example, but it's a very important example. If you don't act, that's where the road leads. So you must act. And I think the other really important thing there is that nobody can do it for you. Nobody can take the steps for you. Nobody can rescue you from it. You must do it yourself. Living proof. I think my coffee's almost cold. Okay. Act in the face of fear. Be grateful for every moment that you're here. Any other messages? Nope, no other messages. Just continue to seek fellow seekers.